It's not. See, it's not about what you become an ambassador for. It's about how you behave when, or what you know about being an ambassador for something, and what you know about being a special assistant or a senior special assistant. It's about what you offer. You cannot just be there breathing oxygen and they're collecting a paycheck.
But wait, on the flip side, those who appointed her, were they not aware of all this before? This is, to me, I feel this is a slap on Nengi's face and an embarrassment to her brand. You know, at the end of the day, I might not be good for the job. Why did you offer me, or why did you appoint me at first? And just barely 1 month in the office, you remove me and put in another person because the person is a first-class graduate.
What we don't understand is politics is a different world. Politics is different. It's a whole other universe of its own. They might have removed her, then maybe next month, just wait and see. She's getting another position somewhere else, doing something else for the government. It's just about how politics is choice. Is what I'm offering you and your choice to take it. For the time, it was okay. They felt it was the right move. But now there's a first-class graduate, and there's all of this talk about BB Niger and the caliber of people it produces, and why people from reality TV shows seem to get more recognition, even set up a better life for themselves than people who actually went to school and studied hard and all of that.
Moye, I am still saying, were they not first-class graduates before they appointed Nengi?
See, my point here is this.
Why appoint her when you know?
It's okay to call yourself back. And these things, it's politics. You don't know who the first-class graduate knows. Have you forgotten that this is Nigeria? You don't know who the people who are appointing her now currently. You don't know who they owe favors to. Is this not Nigeria?
Well.
Anyways, you don't know what they promised Nengi,
or what she said she would do and she wasn't able to do it.
You see, you don't really know these things. What we know is they appointed her at some point and now they've removed that. Well, peace be to the world.
Well, that's by the way. There's a very serious issue that's trending now. Oloture, Mo Abudu, and Tobore.
See, I've not really had time to read both sides of the story.
I have. Now, this is it. This is the story. We all know Oloture. Oloture is a movie on irregular migration and sexual exploitation.
And it's a movie of a journalist as well, because the Oloture girl was a journalist who got caught up in a big story, and they got trafficked and couldn't be saved.
And Tobore happens to be that journalist, which is, what's her name again? What's the name of this lead character again?
What's her name? The girl that acted.
Yes, Shalewa. Shalewa is the lead character.
No, she has a name. Shalewa is not her name.
Maybe Shalewa, I remember. I remember her.
Sharon Onoja.
Sharon Onoja. So the story is that Tobore is actually Tobore's life story. Oloture is Tobore's life story. Some of Oloture's storyline is some of Tobore's.
It was based on her life, but it wasn't exactly. Some of the scenes and characters
were created. Yes. Now, the issue now is that Tobore has come out to say that Mo did not reach out to her before putting out her life story, putting it into a movie. But Mo is saying that Tobore works for Premium Times.
Okay.
Tobore wrote the story for Premium Times. The copyright belongs to Premium Times. And they've gone to Premium before putting out the movie. Before even making the movie, that Mo went to Premium Times to seek copyright permission, do all of the necessary things before putting out that movie. But of course, did not neglect Tobore. This I'm speaking for Mo now. Then Mo reached out to Tobore, told Tobore that they would like to use her work, which she granted permission. And Mo promised to give her 5% of what comes out from the movie.
Cinema viewing.
Yes, in cinema viewing, because it's not supposed to be a commercial film. It's just an advocacy film to address sexual exploitation and irregular migration. But COVID came, and what happened, and they had to put it on Netflix. They had to partner with Netflix and put it on Netflix. Before then, Mo and Tobore, they've been, according to Mo's story now, I'm not saying what I do not know. Mo said before then, she has been talking with Tobore explaining to Tobore, okay, this is what is happening now. We're putting it on Netflix, keeping her up to date with what's happening with the movie and steps taken and all of that. And now the movie, that Tobore even sent her a message on her birthday. And then boom, the movie was on Netflix. And then October 5th, that was when the movie went up on Netflix. It garnered a whole lot of viewings and all of that. And then try to reach out to Tobore, because she already now said she was going to give Tobore a cash gift. Now, trying to reach out to Tobore could not be reached. Instead, Tobore started sending threat messages to the director of Oloture and some crew member of Oloture, threatening them, putting all sorts of fears into them and all of that. And Mo has tried as much as she can to reach out to Tobore, and Tobore is not reaching out. Instead, Tobore dragged Mo and her crew to court, and when the two lawyers started sitting, the lawyer to Tobore actually, withdrew and stopped coming and stopped attending to the case. So according to Mo, all what she's saying is that she needs Tobore to come out, if it's going to be legally, for them to face it legally, knowing that she has done what she's supposed to do legally by gaining copyright permission. But Tobore, let me say Tobore's story. Tobore's anger is that this is what she said. I can't start searching for the video, but while you're talking, I'll get the video. This is what she said. She said, how will you make a film about my life? Everything in that movie is about my life. How will you make a film without telling me that is the owner? And you went on to Premium Times saying that Premium Times, they are the owner. I wrote the story. It is my story. Okay. Why would you make a film without telling me to receive my blessings?
Okay, so here's the thing. Premium Times, now it makes sense, because when I was reading comments about it, people were like, Premium Times are being fenced with this and all that. They should come out and take a side and all. See, when you work for an organization, especially in print media, whatever you do literally belongs to the organization. Yeah? That's if you're in full employment. You're not like freelance, or you're not selling your story to them. You are in their full employment. If you're in their full employment, whatever you do, it belongs to them. For instance, if you do like Juan Radio now, if you do a jingle for a station, it's theirs. Right? If it's about the station, it's theirs. Completely theirs. So I think that what Premium Times should have done is, because of how personal the story is, should have liaised with her. I don't see how this is any of Mo's fault. Now, I'm not a big fan of movies or Mo Abudu or anybody, but I don't see how this is any of... If she really did get permission from Premium Times to put the story out, it was on Tobore to go back to Premium Times and get Premium Times to give her her due, because that's her entire life experience. And besides, it was on Tobore to say, listen, if I did not use your resources, did she use Premium Times resources while she was writing the story? If she did, then it would have been on her earlier to say, listen, since I used your resources, let me pay you for your resources and keep the story for myself. Copyright will belong to me. All right? Or if she was going to give it to them, she would have signed an agreement that says, whatever you get, I would get a piece of it.
Yes.
Because this is my story. In the end, it was my life on the line. In the end, it was my blood that went out. In the end, it was my stress.
Let's listen to her. She said something.
And taste of my work. Oloture is my work. Oloture is my life story. Let me be fair with my use of words. If not, I would have said it is based on my life story. But let me still cut them some slack. It's an adaptation of my work and my life story. It's not a regular investigation that, okay, they broke so-so houses. It's a case of the reporter became the story. And how many years down the line, I'm still living with the trauma. Then someone now hush puppy my stuff, and they expect me to clap for them, as in abo. No, it's not possible now. It's not possible.
Did you hear the name?
Then they constantly put their name again, saying now then conceive the story. Sure, even when I did alive. The sister put that thing aside. Oloture does not closely resemble my work. It's a copy and paste of my work. This
All right, I think we should cut it there. That's Tobore speaking there. The journalist with Premium Times.
This was it to get an area. Well, she should. I don't know what she can do about this, but I feel like it's her fault. You know, if according to her, the writer became the story, then the writer should have patented the story and kept copyright for herself. The writer should have made it hers. You don't hand it over. If it's true that she handed it over to Premium Times, then I don't see what's Mo's problem here.
Then,
I mean, if Mo promised to give her something, she should still do the the high up thing and give her, maybe a small percentage of whatever.
Yeah, she agreed to do that. She, even from the start, according to Mo's story, she started by saying, before this movie went out, we reached out to Tobore, who is the brain behind all this, under Premium Times, who owns the copyright.
So really, at this point, I don't like when people fight for copyright the way she is doing. At this point, if you want to put out your story, I respect that. You're right. Put out your grievance, but tell us what you want in the end. Do you want credits?
They were giving credits. She was giving credits at the end of the movie. Premium Times and Tobore was giving credits.
Do you want money? Then you have to now negotiate it. All right. And unfortunately for her, she cannot negotiate from a place of power, because if it's true that she handed copyright to Premium Times, then it's Premium Times. Then she should have a chat with Premium Times. But I think who goofed
the more
was her from the beginning. I mean, if you became the story, if it was your life story, like you're saying, it was an adaptation of everything you went through in trying to make a big story for a newspaper, then you earn it. See, left to me, I would not even mind at some point when I got into the story and seeing how big it could possibly be, I don't mind resigning, leaving all their resources behind,
and then go solo,
and then owning it. I would be the one making this film, not Mo Abudu. I would be the one earning the big bucks.
Oloture has earned over 3 billion naira. I think over on Netflix.
Once Netflix buys your movie,
on Netflix.
Once you can get your movie, once Netflix says, okay, listen, we will approve this, you get some big bucks. So if I were her, I think from the beginning, it was all on her. She should have owned it if it was her life. I mean, she's passionate about it. If you watch the movie, you'll see that she wasn't stopping. Even if it's true that it's an exact adaptation of the thing she went through, when she was asked to stop, she was not stopping.
Yeah.
She did not want to stop.
She kept on going.
So if it was that personal for you, you will own it. See, you will fight for the right to own the story. And at that point, if after she wrote that story and she was going to put it on the paper and she was fighting for the right to own everything about the story, Premium Times would have given it to her. You know why? Because regardless, it was going to be a big story for them.
Yes. Okay, should we let people comment on this, or we should just walk away?
I don't know.
Do you know the good part of yeah, it sounded like Tobore. Do you know the good part of this thing now? If you've not seen Oloture, you would want to go and see Oloture, and Oloture will keep making Oloture will make more. It's a good movie. I cried.
But here's the thing. I have one critique about the movie that a lot of people would.
Okay, what angle?
There was no story.
There was no story.
See, there was no story. Like, I don't know how to put it. There was no. The story was not cohesive. There was great acting, if you ask me, but there was no story.
This is a story of. Okay, because there was no. There's what we call it. There's what we call beginning of a story, conflict of a story, and conflict resolution. Yes, those are the three parts of story. So you're saying it lacks.
I did not fully grasp what irregular migration and the effects from Oloture.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest, except if you will tell me that the story was about the journalist. No, the story was not supposed to be about the journalist.
It's supposed to be.
When you look at it, it was about irregular migration, sex trafficking, and the ordeals of it.
I totally get where you're coming from right now.
It became the story of the journalist,
which you don't know what happened.
As far as the story of irregular migration and human trafficking and sex trafficking was concerned, there was no story there.
But if I'm coming from this angle now, I totally get where you're saying, where you're coming from. So if this is Tobore's story, How did Tobore come back to Nigeria to start working with Premium Times?
I don't know.
No. Do you understand where I'm coming from? In the movie now,
Exactly.
let's say Sharon Onoja is Tobore, and she was
Exactly.
kidnapped. Remember at the end of it, she was kidnapped
The
back.
resolution.
So
It was,
how
it was really,
did he come?
there was-
Did she
there was
come back?
I would give you. There was some great acting, some terrific directing, but there was no story.
Okay, if you are wondering what movie we're talking about, I'm sorry if you've not seen the movie. It's only available on Netflix, except for those people who do piracy. I'm not even advising you to go and do that. Just get a Netflix account. You get what? Am I doing advert for Netflix? Go to Netflix and watch Oloturi, and then you understand what we're talking about. But this is where we wrap up the story. The story continues. I want to know, the real worry picking. What is she going to do next?
This is not the real worry Pikin. Please, don't impersonate. Not the real worry Pikin.
No. When I mean what, she sounds like a waffy girl now.
Yes, but there is the real worry Pikin.
Okay, sorry.
Do you understand?
No,
We know
sorry.
the real worry.
I know the real worry.
If you try
Pikin.
this thing with the real worry Pikin, all she will just do is find you and sit on you.
Anyways, we have to go now. See you tomorrow. And don't forget to follow KUFM on all social media handles. Join in the conversation. And also follow me on Twitter. Yeah, I got a new account at Orlando Goslow.
So you never got your old number.
And I have to retrieve my SIM to get my old account back. And you know the task of going to communication offices to retrieve your SIM. So I decided to open a new account. So it's just Orlando Love, LORLANDOVEE. That's all.
Why does it have to be so complicated?
It's not complicated. What's there in Orlando Love? Do you have
all? Take away the E.
now it's at the double
another
E. All right, guys, I'll leave in the hands of Omoye. Coming up is the midday show, guys. See you all tomorrow.
DJ Mighty Mike.
My Lord, Holy Lord, oh my God, the sunshine, Daddy Yado, Erale Likutoni.